today's wonderful journey is at Callaway.
From that point of view. Okay, right, so let's start off from a picture point of view. So it's all about that key word about consistency for you, so what we're seeing here at the moment. So these are the shots you've just been hitting, so it's all about making sure that you hit the shots down the middle of the fairway, so we want to work on the accuracy point of view for you today. Obviously you do get occasions, obviously you pull it over to the left hand side, that's more down to the technique where you get a little bit flat. So let's see what we can do though from technology just to help to keep those a little bit straighter, so from that point of view. So we're going to work on that. So also just to build a little bit more continuity to your ball flights. So we're going to see what we can do there. What will happen is that with those better continuity to those ball flights, and you see that a little bit more from the side view angle here, you'll see there's a lot of variation to the landing point. So from that point of view, so if we can get the flights more consistent, that will certainly mean better distance for you. So from that point of view. So let's see what we can do here. This is the overhead view of the driving range, so obviously you can see how much that dispersion area between your good shots and your bad shots is. Obviously it's quite elongated, so obviously we want to get that a little bit more tighter together, so from that point of view. So let's have a look at a couple of stats then. Let's see what we can do there. So your club head speed at the moment is 76 miles an hour, so no right and wrong to that. So everyone is different. So for me as a fitter, indication about the flex of the shaft we're going to use as well for you today. So we're going to look at regular flexes for you. We've got minefielder shaft, so let's find out the right shaft, but also from a weighting point of view, because that'll have a big impact to where you strike it on the face of the golf club. So let's see what we can do there. Because if we can get the strikes more centralised, that will certainly mean better ball speed for you. So let's get that up as high as we can. 2 to 3 miles an hour, don't sound a lot in the car when the golf swing gives you absolutely club stronger. So let's see what we can do there. So what's our average distance? Well, our average distance is coming out 132 carry to 145. So as you say, yes, when you hit the club well, you get the 150, 159. The key word is, well, how consistent do you get that? And that's where a lot of amateurs get into difficulty. It's making sure you get the same distance every single time. So that's what we're going to work towards. Overall though, let's talk a little bit about the flights, because that also gives us a little bit more distance. So your flights are actually not doing too badly at 21 degrees. It's the average launch angle there, so that's good. You want that between 18 to 21 degrees, so that's very good here. But just because of the sweep and action we have to our technique, as we touched on earlier, your spin level is a little bit low. So at the moment, average spin level at 5,000 there needs to be a little bit higher. So 5,003 to 6,002. So we just need to get that spin up a little bit better for you. So we'll see what we can do from technology. So let's see what we can do to get those flights more. It's grip down fraction on this for me. Let's see how you. Let's put that onto there.
One of the lads who's on a couple of videos, he's 6'3", he's got the worst posture you've ever seen.
Oh, right.
Oh,
okay.
He grips it low as well, because he's always fighting a bit of a slice.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the key thing about the line of the golf club. If you tend to be your bad shots are more of a fade, then generally, yes, a little bit more upright can certainly help, because it can help them to release your hands. But your bad shot at the moment is that little pull at the moment, because we get a little bit flat. If you can just grip down to the 2 markers there on the underneath there for me, so I'll just take it down from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch for me. So this is the new XR, so this is doing pretty well for us at the moment, mainly because of the face technology is all about creating more distance, so the face has been made thinner, so it flexes more, so that means better ball speed will come from that. Just going to start you off with the stock shaft, so kind of fairly lightwaight, so you're going to feel the head a little bit more with this one, so it'll be interesting to see what directly impacts your quality of striking, but also from a accuracy scoring point of view. Okay, right then. Let's give that a go. Let's see how that starts off. Just going to put a little bit of details on the computer. Right. Okay, let's give that a go. Let's see how that balance and also the centralised strike. Let's see how that comes through. Far away. Way to start off.
A bit lower, isn't it?
A little bit lower. Well, actually, in fact, the launch angle was actually too bad. Actually, 22 degrees there. So, but immediately a better ball speed. So that's good. Sometimes they do have a tendency to come off a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, good swing. Okay, just face a little bit open. But the advantage is there is that, okay, the face was a little bit open, but generally that would mean you lose distance, where you still maintain distance because your ball speed is staying up at the moment, which is really good. So just come down a fraction on the shaft for me, just underneath those two lines. How's it feeling so far anyway? Feeling comfortable?
Yeah.
So already we're starting.
Stand to my height a bit better.
Yeah, it's only 1/4 of an inch. It's just kind of get you to stand a little bit taller on it, so it just helps them to clear your hips a little bit better on the downswing there. And it's certainly at the moment we're already starting to see an average distance increase as the ball speed is going up. And as you mentioned, you're still catching it a little bit towards the toe at the moment because what's happening. But the good thing is at least they are centralised in one location at the moment. This is just purely because the club's delivered out of sight to win a little bit, so just coming across the golf ball. But let's take the positives of this, okay? You are catching them a fraction towards the toe, but you're still a lot straighter and you're still getting better distance. So from that point of view, so at the moment, average distance is up to 149 yards carry more consistently. So let's have a few more, that'd be great. So give us another 3 shots, that'd be great. Yeah, it's a little flat there. A little bit around the body there. Don't worry about that one too much. Give you a mulligan on that one. Yeah, good swing. Nice strike. So quite interesting, we're seeing less pulls, which is a good thing, but we actually are seeing a little bit more fades, so which is quite interesting. So the face is a little open through impact at the moment, so they do look as though a lot of movement on the screen there, but you're only talking about 5 to 7 yards right at the moment, so we're talking very little movement, which is good there. So got a little bit more spin to the ball as well, which is nice. Yeah, nice strike. Okay, that'll do us fine. Well done. So immediately what we're seeing is a direct impact to your dispersion area, so which you'll see here. So the white circle representing your current golf club, yellow on your hat, fantastic, which is really good there. So that's great. So let's have a look at the shots as they look down the fairway. So let's remind ourselves of your current golf club. There we go. So that's yours there at the moment. And this is the one in your hand. So it's getting there. So it's really good. So it's starting to get there a little bit better. Let's see what the stats are saying. So club head speed wise is 76 miles an hour to 78. So that's good. You loosen up a little bit more. But also the club is a little bit lighter. So that's really good here. But the good thing is because it's lighter, the head has been a little bit heavier. You're a little bit more aware of it. And what it's doing is that your quality of striking has improved. I.e. getting a little bit more towards the middle. So your ball speed's gone up from 99 there to 107, which is a massive jump in terms of ball speed wise. Spin level, as you pointed out, also up there, but certainly distance-wise, 132 average to 151. Massive change. So that's really good. Just going to try something a little heavier in the shaft, just curiosity, just to see how that comes through. So that's the stock shaft. It's called Step 80. Very good shaft. I'm only going to try another shaft here because I'm thinking ahead with obviously the things that you're going through in your swing changes. So just the thoughts about this one is, are you going to grow out of it a little bit too quickly? So let's see what happens. So I'm just going to introduce a little bit more weight in. Still in the regular flex category at 78 miles an hour there. So
with the shaft flex, do you base that a lot on speed?
A lot to do with speed, but also rhythm and tempo of the individual, and also striking on the face of the golf club. So what that means is that if your strikes are more centralised, you get more an efficient strike, so that means you get a higher smash factor, you may have heard of that, and that means better ball speed being improved because of that, so which is good, and that's exactly what we are seeing. Grip down a fraction on that one again for me again. So this one is a little heavier, so you're coming up from from 83 grams to 94, so it's a little heavier. So the XP 95. All right, let's give that a go. Let's see how that feels. distance though, 147 carry, so still good. That's alright, don't worry about that one. So it's amazing, we just introduced a little bit of weighting, and how much it's directly impact the quality of your striking. So not so much from the middle of the golf club, a lot of variation from the distance, but your ability to square the face is also different as well. So it's not doing too badly, but it's, as I say, it's just it's quite interesting to see what happens. Do you feel as controlled as the previous one, or do you find this one is a little bit? Just don't feel the head.
I've lost where the head is a bit, whereas with the heavier,
light one.
I get to the top and it just I feel like I'm either putting a twist in on my hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's certainly what we are seeing. It's already directly impacted your accuracy, but more importantly, your ball speed is down from 107 down to 102. So still better than what you've got. So you're still maintaining a better distance, but at the moment, the quality of striking is certainly becoming more consistent from the lighter weight shaft. So that's good, that's great. So what we'll do, let's keep you to this one for a moment. So I'm going to keep you to the 1/4 inch longer, so I'd like you to keep to that. Just helps with your posture position, as you say, so it feels amazing. It's only 1/4 inch, but it does make a bit of a change there. So we're going to keep to that. So let's keep to this lightweight steel shaft, the Step 80, which is a shaft we fit as standard on this one. So really good shaft actually, very good shaft this one. Just want to check the lie of the golf club now. Just want to see exactly what's happening to the sole of the golf club as it's coming through the impact area. So we just want to make sure it is coming through nice and flat. So we just want to prevent the heel and the toe digging in. So, okay, well let's see what happens. So how we do this, it's quite easy. I'm just going to have you hit a slightly different ball here. It's got a little groove on it, and this is going to show us exactly what is happening with the sole of the golf club as it's coming through. So if you can hit this ball for me. So all I'm interested in is 1, where does it go on the screen here for us, and 2, what it shows me on the face. Don't worry about distance, it's a bit of a strange ball this one, but I'm more interested about what it's going to show me on those 2 things. So have some practice swings, get yourself back to the feel of it again. Again, just gripping down a fraction underneath those 2 lines for us, that would be great. Just a little bit out of the toe, I suspect. Yeah, a little out of the toe there. Just have a quick look. Yeah, just a little bit around the body there. That's all it was.
So I just felt that just from changing back to this, it simply felt the difference of the
straight away.
weight,
The weight. Let's do another one.
So is it track man picking up the ball, or is it just
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's picking up the ball, but what's happening is on the ball itself there is a groove. And when it's positioned in a certain position like I'm doing now, the idea is that what we're looking for is it's going to leave an imprint on the face. You can actually see it on that one there, you hit that. So there's a line in the middle. And what we're looking for is that line to point straight up, straight vertical, so from that point of view. So that shows us when it does do that, it means that the golf club, as it's coming through the impact area, it's just coming through nice and flat. But if it is making the heel or toe contact, that line will move in either directions, which will then represent for us about what line we need to go to and what severity of degree of movement we need to go to as well. Oh, a little bit open. Quite release that one. Let's see where that one came. It's always a heel. Nice, okay. Let's do one more. There is another way we can conduct the test, so it's not a problem. Swing, that's what it is. It's amazing how much a ball puts a pressure on as well.
But it's just trying to find that, it just change back into it just, I can feel at the top, feel the difference.
Okay, right, let's try that again. Take your time. It's getting a little bit flat at the moment. The club's just being round the body, not quite picking up in the backswing there just a little bit. Let's do one more, and I've got another way we can do it. So let's do that. Okay, right, so let's just do that one more time. Okay, so, okay. Better, good swing. Still a little bit out of the toe, I suspect. Just a little bit. It was a better contact though. Oh no, bang on. Well done. Just I saw the starting line a little bit, so I was thinking it was out of the toe there. But that's great to see. So there we go. Bang at the middle of the golf club, so that's really good. Line is the key thing here, so what we're seeing on that strike, it was a perfect strike. The line's pointing straight up, which is an indication for myself that the line setting we've given you, which is here, is standard, even though the chart was suggesting to go more upright, is actually working very well. And also as well, is that we've got this marking. You can just make it out, it's just that we get a little bit flat. Sometimes it might not make the contact with the ground, but we can see it. There's a little bit of marking across the whole complete sole of the golf club here. So the question mark is there, okay, that line is pointing straight up, so that meant that as the golf club came through the impact area, the club came through nice and flat. So the question is, well, why did it go left then? And the main reason for it is because your face was shut through impact with what you did technically, so at the moment it was 6 degrees shut, so that's why it pulled over to the left-hand side for that reason. So it wasn't being caused, for example, by the heel of the golf club. So at the moment, because you're going through these swing changes, getting you turning through the ball, so what we're going to do, we're going to keep it a quarter of an inch longer, help with the posture position, but let's keep you to the standard line at the moment. So what will happen is that when you change your golf swing, it has the biggest influence to the line of the golf club. So from that point of view, so if that needs to be adjusted, then that's not a problem. So it'll be adjusted later on. So okay, right, so let's go back to this one. Let's just hit normal balls. I think the head model will be a good head model for you to go towards, so it's certainly give you a nice aesthetically pleased. And the next stage up, I'm going to give you a taste of the next one up. It's on that one, it'd be a good day, you love it to pieces, bad day might be a bit tricky, but let's give this another go. Let's just try this one more time. So back to that lighter weight shaft there, okay? Right, far away. Yeah, good swing, nice strike.
Tempo again.
There you go, there's the tempo, down the middle, and there you go, 148 yards. Lovely. Carry that is. Getting a little bit more spin to the ball, so you're going to have a little bit more control in the green, so that's also going to be very nice.
So I'm 1.8 across then?
Yep, you're 1.8 outside of win. The main thing is the attack angle next to that. You'll see that's a positive at 0.8 degrees, so that should be a minus, so that means it's hitting down. Yeah, you're hitting on the way up, exactly. So yeah, so ideal kind of figure for that is between -4 to -8 is a good figure to achieve with a 7 iron.
So we'll change it.
Yeah, that was better. Nice solid strike there, a bit more ball speed. There we go, hitting down on the ball better there. Just the face is a little open, but 160 yards carry there. Very nice. So just to clarify from my point of view, at the moment the most common bad shot you have is that left one at the moment, yeah? Very rarely goes right, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, particularly the lines but off the tee, very much opposite.
It's opposite, right, okay.
I love seeing the left hand side of the course there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Pull the ground a little bit, but very good. So sometimes what happens when you catch the ground, it de-lofts the face of the golf club, so it can bring your spin down a little bit. But let's take the positive of it. You still hit 157 yards carry. So, which is good. The only downside is it will run through to the back of the green, but don't worry, that will come with the attack angle being changed. Let's have one more. That's great. Immediately got that ribbon back with it again, and also you'll see from the dispersion area, the yellow circle was the first time you hit it. The blue circle or the aqua green there is the one you've been hitting again. So really good, good accuracy. Yeah, Just a little flat on that one,
Yeah.
so a little bit more round the body, so a little bit more of that heel wanted to dig in there. You see, I can make the club a little bit flatter to prevent that heel from digging in, but the thing is you're going through the swing changes,
Yeah,
so later on you'll find literally after a couple of lessons he'll get you turning through more, and then suddenly you'll be hitting them right, you'll be ringing them up and saying what's happening, so so we don't want to do that. So let's keep the standard lie for the moment. Yep, one last one then, that'd be great, thank you. Yeah, good swing, nice strike. Does it feel nice though?
Yeah.
Feel comfortable? Like the look of the club as well?
Yeah, no, it's, yeah. So I'm not playing Callaway before, so.
Yeah, we've definitely completely changed the aesthetic looks of our golf clubs over the last few years. It used to be quite chunky in terms of look-wise, but now we've really addressed the looks of our irons now to appeal for a more wide spectrum of golfers, but without the dangers of losing the performance value, so the benefits from that point of view. As I say, I mean, your clubbing speeds come up a little bit more. You're kind of towards that borderline area between the regular and the stiff. I could give you a stiff, but you've got to swing harder to get it to work. So I'm going to keep you the regular for the moment. I think that's a really good shaft that you'll feel comfortable with, and you don't feel you have to push yourself to make it work every time. So you can work on your rhythm and your tempo. Let me just give you a taste of this next one then. One last club. This is the Apex. So as I say, a little bit more tricky, but lovely looking head though, this one. Let's give you a taste of it. Let's see what it gives. Let's see what happens. Now the one thing I'll just mention, this is going to be a 6 iron, because we're just changing our fitting system. We're moving away from 6 irons to 7 irons, so just a little bit more user friendly for a lot of golfers. So but I've got an idea of the distances now you'll achieve. You're hitting a 6 iron from this set, so let's give it a go. So this one is made of a forged body, so it's given us the feel of a bladed iron, so as we all know, when you hit them from the middle, they're lovely, but if you're going to have a bad day, certainly show it. But you've got a cavity on this one, so you've still got a fairly good amount of forgiveness for it. The face itself has a carpenter steel face insert being welded in, so it's not only giving you that feel, but it's also going towards greater distance. So this will be quite interesting. Let's see how this one comes through. Slightly different in its weighting as well. So this will be. So the longest iron you got in the bag is a 4, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you feel comfortable in using it?
I used to love a 4 iron, but recently I like it a lot less.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, with the changes that we make it, I used to, my 4 iron, my 5 wood, just stand and hit it for, didn't even really think about it.
Oh, okay.
Whereas my 4 iron now, on the bad shot, leaks a long way to the right.
So would you like to still have a 4 iron in your bag? So, you know, it's obviously from a long-term point of view with the lessons that you're going through, or would you like to explore something that's going to give you a little bit of forgiveness and a little bit of ease?
When I played a lot when I was younger, I had a hybrid in there. You know, when they weren't hybrids on the rescue clubs, you know. And again, got on with that really well.
Yeah.
But it's when I bought that set and I hit the 4 iron, it was like, it's fine. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm having a little think about your set makeup, so alright, let's give this a go. Let's see how it comes around. Yeah, nice swing. Nice strike there. So what we'll see with this one is that there is a chance that we may see a little bit more cut spin over the right hand side there, because it has what we call less offset. So that means it provides the player who's looking for a little bit more workability between the leading edge of the head itself, so the gap between the shaft and the leading edge here. So the idea is got less offset, so it allows the player to have more workability. The downside is, if your bag shot is a little bit leak off to the right, it can accentuate that movement, therefore giving you even more cut spin. So that's the only downside about it. But
looking down it looks similar to those.
Very similar, yeah. It's a little bit thinner on the top line, slightly smaller heel to toe ratio, just a fraction. So from that point of view, but as I say, well, at the moment, I'll be honest, the 7 iron's just gone as far as that. So from distance wise, but that's only because that sweet spot is just that fraction smaller. So there's a little bit more emphasis on hitting this one from the middle. But good start though.
So you remember the
positive is at least it's down the middle of the fairway. It's not going to get into trouble, which is good.
That's really how different feel is for, you know, for a different head. And, yeah.
It is amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it's, as I say, it's, you know, it's a lovely looking head. As I say, it's. Yeah, good swing. That's a nice shot. Just a little bit of movement there. So when you hit this one, it's actually going to go as far as the XR iron in terms of kind of distance-wise. So is it going to give you anything more? Not really. So
the lofts on the XR
against the XR, so from that point of view, yeah, yes, they're actually the same lofts. Okay. They're exactly the same lofts. It's just the difference here is that it's a little bit more on the monetary value. It's a little bit more expensive because of the materials that are being used. But as I say, it's certainly when you hit it from the middle, you're going to love it. It's just if you have a slightly off timing day, you'll find it to be a little bit more wayward. So from that point of view, but hey, it gives you a taste of what the next level has to offer, definitely. I think the XR will be a great iron for you to go for, so that would be really good. So I'm going to recommend a brand new XR iron. It's been out for the last kind of 3 months, so it's been a phenomenal iron for us. Just gives us the blend of creating the distance, but with that little bit of the forgiveness story, which would be great. I'm going to keep it a lightweight steel shaft because your club head awareness is better, so you can hit the shots more centralised, which is great, hence the reason why we're seeing that distance. We'll go a quarter of an inch longer in terms of lengthwise at this stage, so which would be good. That just helps your posture, as I mentioned earlier, from that point of view. And what we'll do for this moment, where you are in your change or your golf swing, let's keep it at standard life for this second. All right, well done. Good start.
So how different are the XRs to the X2 Hots were, I guess?
Well, the major difference is that in terms of performance-wise, the X2 Hots were a very good iron for us, did really well. So what we mainly did is that we changed the aesthetic looks of the particular model itself. Also with the face technology is different because the face is even made more thinner, so we're seeing greater ball speeds out of the head itself from that point of view. But the biggest key thing what we've seen is actually more accuracy compared to the X2 Hot. So we do communicate a lot about distance, which is definitely what we've been seeing. Definitely seeing a club stronger against the X2 Hot from last year, but definitely everyone's been seeing an accuracy story, which is absolutely fantastic. Right then, okay, so we've got your new set of irons there. Okay, we'll conduct a grip fitness check at the end of the session for you, so we'll make sure that